Captain's log, stardate 10292019, 17.0, Starship Enterprise B's log, NCC 1701B. So I got a couple updates for you. Chloe's sleeping right now, thank God. I should be sleeping too, but let's just say, yeah, I should be sleeping. I haven't been sleeping a lot lately, if any. I've been up all the time. I've been trying to get some sleep, and it's been hard with everything going ahead in my in my appointment. With everything going on. I've been worried about this and that, and worried about Jose, and worried about my housing, and you know, and so. And so I figured I would open the door for a bit and do a video. And as you can see, for all of you, you guys can see my little Bun's alive. He can come on out here. He's safe. So one of the things I want to share with you all is the fact that, so as you all know, so yesterday, here's what happened. So yesterday morning, I emailed the lawyer and I said, I'm done with him. I'm firing him. Literally, you're forcing me to go to a meeting that's useless. Our housing, if it's not in danger, is not in danger, then why are we having this meeting to discuss pretty much useless crap, So what happened then was this morning, see, isn't that great? He's a little bunny. So basically what happened is, this is my Easter bunny, actually. And, he's got his food and stuff, and he is a pellet machine, just to let you know. The cage, we will be pulling apart and deep cleaning it this weekend. We might loan him out to a neighbor, but anyway, so what happened was, as you all know, Friday, I saw the sheriff next door to the neighbor, and then I brought it up today's meeting. But anyways, what happened was, so what happened was, last night, as I told Poppy, I fired the lawyer. I literally fired the lawyer. And so then he tells me, oh, calm down. You shouldn't be stressing over this little. Sorry about that. That's my township game. So basically what happened was, he turned around and made the appointment anyways for today at 11. Well, I'm supposed to meet up with my advocate at 9. She ain't in. I go back at 9:30, isn't in. Go in at 10, isn't in. Finally, around 10:30, I get there, she's in. I'm sitting there basically panicking. I'm like, look, I need to get to the hospital because I'm having a mental breakdown. And so what happened was, she turned around and basically called up the other advocate and said, Rita's, we need to know why this appointment is, because one advocate said she didn't want to go. It was pretty useless, and she had all these things to do. And so she had like this meeting, that meeting, this meeting, this meeting, this meeting, and had to cancel, whatever. And so in my opinion, whoop, don't do that to mama. So then what happened was, so she got a whole lawyer and said, look, Rita's basically having a mental breakdown. She's got to be hospitalized. And the guy basically said, well, we're waiting for Rita. And she said, Chloe's supposed to be there. And then I said, Chloe wasn't. And eventually the lady put me in a room, sat me down, and told me to sit down and have some coffee and, calm down. Well, my body was basically so out of it with lack of sleep. And literally, I couldn't think. I was writing my letter to Jose. They thought it was a journal. and I was writing, and I was just trying to express my feelings to Jose. And basically, all of a sudden, they show up, and the lawyer, he's just hovering over me. I'm like waiting for the bathroom, waiting for the toilet paper in the bathroom, or waiting for coffee and waiting for this. And finally, Chloe and the manager and the big boss is upstairs, and I'm sitting there going. Finally, I get up there, and the boss says, "Well, I'm on a time schedule, and I got to be off to do other business on the island with other management companies and owners," and went along the way, right? And so, Ebony, knock it off, you turd! You can't have my cigarette coupons. So basically, what happened was, so we got to the meeting, and Chloe's reminiscing about all this stuff. And to me, I finally, I wanted out, literally. So I said, "Can we just keep on the topic?" I said, "What is these complaints, anyways? What is this?" The guy said, "Oh, slamming of the cupboard doors." I don't slam cupboard doors. And he said, "Well, the pantry door gets slammed. I actually leave it open." What, you want to chew on my brush, you little rugrat? So basically, then what happened was she turned around. Chloe was talking, and I finally said, "Look, if you," and then they were like, "Oh, well, the hearing aid needs to be turned up." I'm like, "The hearing aid had a short in it. That's why I'm not using the hearing aid. I got to get the hearing aid repaired." So I emailed the lady, and she's got jury duty. But she turned around and told me she would be looking into the hearing aid, repair as soon as possible. But, the point is I'm sitting here, dealing with everything else. So to me, I'm going, woe is me, And so what happened was she turned around, and I love her dearly. Mama, so she turned around, and got it. But they wanted me to use closed captioning, right? So I turned around and I said, "My TV level is low. I can hear between 15 and 20 if I have my hearing aid in. If it needs to," I said, "20 is without my hearing aid, and it's still pretty good at, say, 10, 11 o'clock." I said, "We don't vacuum at night. We do take a bath sometimes a wee hours in the morning, but that shouldn't bother anyone as long as they're climbing in the tub and not singing in the shower, And he agreed, and I said, "Look, you people got to cook their meals." I said, "I cook my dinners really late, And so basically I said, that I do what I can when I can. And so, but yeah, I mean, I was literally a nervous break, And so, I figured, yeah, isn't just to make sure he gets a good camera angle on him. So basically what happened was, so we finally went upstairs, and he was talking basically about television noise and how I should use closed captioning and other stuff, And to me, I'm going, yeah, right, closed captioning and other crap, To me, it seems useless, literally useless. So what happens is I got to get Chloe, I'm paying Chloe she wants cigarette stuff. So I said, clean the heater, clean the vacuum this area here so there's no hay on it, because we don't want it when winter sets and we don't want fire. And, I got a couple of repairs to do, but my repairs are going to be, different, And so, so what happened was, um, um, so we go to this meeting, and they're all they were bitching about was noise complaints. So a couple neighbors complained about the popcorn maker, and I said, "Is that before 10 or after 10?" And he said, "Well, it's before 10." Well, it's a popcorn maker. Then he complained about the coffee grinder. Again, it's a coffee grinder. If it's in the morning or afternoon, no complaints. Well, it just takes too much noise. So I said, well, what about the jackass upstairs that uses his damn fucking vacuum cleaner and it basically whacks the walls and everything? Am I supposed to look the other freaking way for him? Again, he turned around and turned around and he agreed, Then I said, look, the neighbor's dog barks like crazy. I can hear clearly I can't sleep that often, and I said literally it's not good, and we conversed about that, and then he left, eventually we got to the point where, well, we're gonna start afresh, Now, one of the things that I know Chloe's mom's probably watching this, and Chloe's always panicked we're being evicted. The reason we're being threatened eviction is because Chloe's temper. Chloe turns around, right, and gets angry. Literally gets furiously mad to the point of no return. And then does something stupid like screams and yells about, say, killing law enforcement. And then, that's it. And then other angering things. She might even basically take and throw something. The other day, she almost kicked the damn chair that almost ended up in the TV over there. And literally, I said, if you're going to do this anger, go outside, go down the street, and beat the shit out of a guardrail. At least the guardrail was there. Well, when I brought it up to the lawyer today, he agrees. He said the guardrail will still be there. You might have a broken toe or something, but at least you can do it that way instead of freaking throwing shit around and breaking things. I mean, literally, it's the way I see it, and to me, it's not cool. I mean, literally, it is literally not cool. So, that was one of the things I wanted to share with you all, is because it's not literally cool. And so I found it to be disturbing, that you got this going, and then when they went down, the manager and the repairman's wife, and the big boss, the dog was barking, and I was just sitting there relaxing, and I opened the window, and they're like, I don't hear anything next door. And then one of the guys said, well, she's probably passed out because she either drank too much, highly unlikely, I don't have booze, or two is she's been burned out from it. Well, the big boss said, well, she's burned out from the stress, and the lawyer wasn't making it easy for her, and they were trying to make it easy as possible, so he was already going to be here anyway. So to him, he could have rescheduled anyway, look at it. But this whole thing about noise, it was mostly about loud voices. They didn't bring that up. Pounding on the doors, they didn't bring that up. Slamming of the doors, they didn't bring that up. Literally, Chloe realizes close the door quietly. That's fine. Chloe's main problem is you sitting there, right? And she's not good with technology. And all of a sudden, she gets mad. She's like trying to do this and that, getting mad. And it's like, calm down. Next thing you know, she's angry over something stupid like the computer, literally the computer turning around and blowing up in her face, and then it's township, sorry. You get the point, it's all about her temper. So, they scratched it and they said, look, and the guy explained the whole letter notice. He says, well, technically you got one notice, one. literally. The other notices were scratched off as starting fresh, and then this big notice he said was supposedly for noises again. Unfortunately, they just rewrote that, and then the new management didn't know if he delivered it or not, so he sent another one and another one. And the lawyer's going, "Look, you sent 3 back to back," with my Courtney, my advocate, going, "You sent 3. We want a justification why. We can basically sue." And he's like, "Oh, it wasn't a mistake." And then he was really curious about Bunny today too. It was really nice that he was curious about the little Dutch dwarf. Yeah, sorry, that was my township. But anyways, my point is isn't he cute? So basically, he's a live living creature. He's not a battery operated bunny. And so, but I love him. He lives in an Ilmapi's box, but I got to talk to Tara about looking into a bunny hutch for him. Make it so he's got bigger room. So basically, that's what's going on with me right now. I mean, this is one thing under the bridge. The other thing I'm worried about is and Dinky knows this as well as Corey and well as Tara M and Belle. Belle's been really great. I got to thank Commander Ayanami for helping. So what happened was I went and downloaded a couple games last night. I still need Commander Ayanami's help with configuring the keyboard to play the first Elder Scrolls Arena. Daggerfall works great. I just got to make sure the attack part is fine. But anyways, so Elder Scrolls 1 and 2 is fine. I know I want to get 3, 4, and 5 for PC, and I know 3 I got on disc somewhere, so that just leaves me 4 and 5, and 3 it's on disc. But the problem is you buy the disc and you got to go through Steam, so I might as well see if I can put it on here and then figure out have Belle help me with a controller so I can play Elder Scrolls on the PC. 4, I need to get 4 and 5, but I also been looking at other options too. I want to get into Might and Magic 1 through 5. I know there's 1 through 6. I want to get 1 through 5, and I found a place that I might be able to buy it. I think it's GOG. So I'm good old games. So I might buy it and try putting it on my computer. I do want to get Might and Magic 7, 8, 9, 2, and 10. I also got to see about calibrating Baldur's Gate 2, and what other game was it? Icewind Dale. So I want to see if I can get those calibrated to Windows 10. Otherwise, they have Icewind Dale on the Switch. Unfortunately, the Switch has the problem with it is they don't give you Icewind Dale 2. So, but that's just a small thing. Now, when it comes to my other things, I was telling Jose, my sweetie Saint Jose, he's a sweetheart, that in my letter, it's not just, my stress about losing my apartment or starting scratch, or, I'm fearing the guy might show up again. I mean, we've had people basically coming and going and, wee hours in the morning and stuff, and it scares me. So, the guy basically agreed, find a camera that works through the windows, leave the outside light on for the night vision to work as long as it's angled to a point, and you got it working on, that area. I might be able to angle it where one angle is one way and one angle might be another way and have them crisscross like this, which means I have both angles for, whatever. But, I'm not supposed to, I can have it angled at my door, but I can't have it angled at the neighbor's window or at the stairway for them to come and go. That's considered a privacy issue. But the point is we'll talk to the neighbor first about it. If she feels comfortable with me angling it over by the stairs and to a point where I can angle it to protect us both, I'd gladly do it. But I want to talk to her directly about it. I already give her my internet. I'm nice to her. I was telling the management company today that if she was one of the ratters she wouldn't be getting free internet. She'd basically stab me in the back. Well, apparently, um, they were very shocked that I was helping her with internet. So I don't know if she is or isn't, but I did see them come to the door. So but anyways, another thing I wanted to share with you is Christmas. Basically, I was telling Dinky I want to get her either an Amazon gift card or coffee, or chocolates. She did agree to chocolates. And so what? Hmm. So chocolates, for example. But one of the things I was telling Saint Jose was that I appreciate all his help. And this camera thing is a lot better idea, as he said, than getting a gun, and that's true. But one of the main things I'm worried about is getting it all set up. I have my first month of Amazon Prime is free. Then it's been calculated for $5.99, which is what I'm paying for Prime, so I can watch Star Trek and other movies. I'm hoping to see if the Star Wars series is on there. That would be really cool too. But anyways, so basically what I'm doing is I'm turning around and I'm basically um yeah, if anyone wants to know, we wired his water bottle in, so we have a little tie thing. We just pull it down, and so there's a little turtle float there that goes down. It works with the level, so we know exactly how much water he's got left. Isn't he cute? So basically, what's going on is, a couple of things. The whole thing with when I said to Jose, I'm fearing that the guy will show up. But the other problem is, and I said it nicely. I didn't basically say it meanly or, whatever, because I know Chloe's family is, they watch too. And there's a couple things I want to say that kind of funny, but in my opinion, it's kind of not funny. So I'll explain that in a second. But anyways, so basically, Chloe basically turns around. Right? Chloe's mom, I think, has a little faith and trust in me on the fact that she knows we're not going to be literally evicted unless they basically did it today and said you're out, or they give a 20-day, which he didn't have any intention of giving the 20-day. He clearly stated that. He wants to start from fresh, but he also knows I have good intentions. The problem is Chloe. Chloe basically is the problem. He stated that himself, but Chloe basically gets mad and runs to mom and says, "Oh, I need a ticket to go home." And Chloe. The problem with Chloe is, and I'm going to be going on a limb here. The mental stability of Chloe is not good. She's got CMAR and she's got Compass she's going through. So technically, she's got two mental places to go through. So to me, it's hard. So on that aspect. Now, I do want to say, she has been really good doing the dishes, but that's about it. I told her if she wants to get paid for everything else that she wants, she's going to have to earn it. So, you know, um, so she's working on that. Her ramen supply, she's still got ramen supply till payday, which is the 4th. But let me just tell you, one of the things I told Chloe was I'm not paying for her ferry tickets. She could buy groceries online unless she earns her way. I mean, each ferry ticket's $14 or $15 now, and I'm not basically popping out that much money just for her to go to get groceries at Walmart. It might be cheaper, yeah. I mean, literally, but my dry goods I'm getting it through Amazon and Walmart anyway. So, but anyways, here's the point. My point is Chloe basically runs to mom every time she has an argument, gets combative, or does something stupid, and her mom's completely right. You fight it, or you're not being evicted yet. Because if we were evicted, I would literally just go straight to her mom and say we're gone. Her mom has enough faith that Chloe basically is borderline and not. She might be autistic too. No one knows, but honestly, the borderline part makes her, go into this rage, and she does stupid stuff. So we're trying to get her to do something creative. So I have some goals I'm working on, I'm putting together, but it's just taking some time. Now, the other thing I wanted to say was, um, uh, that as I told Jose, is besides balancing the budget, and having living two people on one income, it's basically hard, and stressing about losing your house and stressing about a guy coming back after he shows his junk, or a question about whatever, and it's just a big complete mess. I mean, literally, I don't know how much more at times I can take, literally. And so because of it, I'm sitting here and I'm worried about every little thing. I mean, literally, I'm worried about every little thing. And so to me, it's not cool. It is literally not cool. So to me, I'm like, well, what do I do? And every little thing. So, to me, I have to make some choices. And I told Chloe, you want cigarettes? You earn it. You want dip? You earn it. Now, problem with the dip is, and I'll say this again, is she turned around, she keeps basically pinching mine, and then basically telling me you did too much of it. Well, I've been cutting my dip pinches down to see where it lasts, and I can do pretty well. Fortunately, middle of the night or early morning, she wants to walk moppy. That's when I hear that hearing aid out or hearing aid in. When it worked, I could hear the ding, 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 and then finally I'd be like, hey, you can't take my dip, So one of the things I'm doing on Friday, as Jose knows, St. Jose, is to go get dip. But basically, um, the meeting went well. We have no trouble. I'm working on Christmas right now. That was something I was telling Jose. Either the people are getting gift cards from me, or they're getting coffee from me, or they might get something like a tool set if you're, whatever, But, so the bottom line is, um, bottom line is that's where it states. So in a couple days, I will be, like I said, going out Thursday night getting dip, and then Friday going out off island. So that means I'm going to go and take care of business. And I think Saturday I might be going off island too, depending. And because of business, I got two business things I got to take care of. And then Monday and Tuesday I go off island, and then we stay on island until the 12th when we go to Seamar, which again, that's $12. Or no, that's more like $15 for the fees. So it goes up in price. So to me, I'm not saying, oh well, she's gotta, we're doing our best basically. And right now, I just hope Chloe just shuts her chili hole and doesn't have any more breakdowns. I mean, she's basically stressed that she's gonna be kicked out. Well, in my opinion, she brought it upon herself on the grounds of what she has done. And to me, it's, I don't like being harsh, and let me just tell you what I was telling last night to Poppy. So me and Poppy were talking about Tara. Now, Poppy says, Tara's like this, in her opinion, in his opinion. Now, the problem with Poppy is, he's got his own opinions, and, Chloe has her own opinions of Tara, my cousin, too, but I love Tara no matter what. Same with Corey. So, talking about Poppy, Poppy and I were talking about some of the messages I went back and forth. I have to reiterate too in my own words. And then he's like, can you please explain it? So I would go into Messenger and give the Tara answers. Now, when she answered about things. And then Poppy says, I may be not agreeing to everything that Chloe has said or done, but Poppy does agree completely with what Chloe, if you got rid of Chloe, the problem would go away. Financially, I'd be better off, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. And so let's get to this financial thingy that I want to talk about for a minute. So basically, there's another story behind a thing that kind of is funny, but kind of isn't funny. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to dead name anyone. Okay, I'm not going to dead name Chloe's dead name. Okay, but I do want to share something that's kind of interesting. So Chloe basically contacted her grandmother. Okay, and needed some help with rabbit pellets. Now, I had to tap into my own funds because Chloe was worried about rabbit pellets, and we were running low on Yeah, man. With hay, there's no hay in there right now. Bunnies are okay for a few days without hay, and he's got plenty of pellets. We got him 2 bags of pellets, so he prefers his pellets over his hay. His hay is more for sleeping on anyway. So to me, if he leaves all these little nuggets around, he sleeps on the nuggets. All we do is pull it off, but you need to have his cage cleaned every 3 to 7 days. Usually Chloe cleans it like once a week. So when she pulled out the old hay, it was just completely saturated in piss and stuff. So what's going to happen is eventually this will be pulled out and we will wash the bedding and give it a new bedding. But anyway, so what happened was, back to the story, was Chloe's, and people think it's funny. I personally think it's not funny, but I'll tell you what happened. So basically what happened was Chloe turned around. Chloe turned around and got a check from, so, and so basically, Chloe's ex roommate message about pay status. Now, let me give you a sample pay status in a second. So basically, Chloe got a check from her grandmother. Okay, Chloe opened it and said, "Oh yeah, this is big enough to get bunny stuff." And she looked at the check, and the check was in her proper name. Unfortunately, it's her female name. She hasn't legally changed it, so she goes to Bank of America, I believe it is, and denied. Literally, it was denied. So we had to put it back in the envelope, and we wasted $20, $22 of ferry tickets that tapped into our electricity money and tapped into everything else, and then we finally just put it back in with a little note that says we can't cash it, Chloe can't cash it. Chloe just says we, but it's Chloe's money. So technically what happened was, that was it. So technically, Chloe's like, because Chloe asked me to try to help cash it, and it's like, no, because I'm not Chloe, and her legal name is something else, and she never changed it, so the check was pretty much useless. So in the end, we just paid a whopping like 49 cents or something, and just mailed it off, and that was it. Um, so basically that's what happened there, and then, Chloe was kind of bummed about that and combative, between having money that she could buy something for herself, which she should, and having no money and waiting for an income, and then having people tell her, well, you need to fight for Social Security, you need this, you need that. The problem is it's not about fighting for Social Security, okay? I mean, Chloe's been hospitalized more times than most people, and yet if they deny her, it's going to be a shock to me. But the point is she's been hospitalized, and yes, that did hurt. But the problem is my hair is um tangling a bit, so I try to untangle it twice a day or more. In the areas that have problems. Like that. Just pulled out a big old hair glob right there. The brush does work pretty well, so but anyways, so I was talking to a couple other notices I want to talk about today. One being something that I want to talk about. A couple subjects, Jess likes my videos. There, it might be too long at times, I think, but anyway, so one of the things, oh yeah, look at that giant hairball. So one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is transgendered healthcare. Now, I've had this guy who looks like a GI Joe guy with a mustache, literally, and he's sitting there, right? He wants to be female, and he demands facial feminization surgery, and he thinks it's bullshit that I can't give the facial feminization name of my surgeon. Well, my surgeon doesn't want to be bombarded, as Dinky knows, with demands for facial fem. She's been bombed many times over, and where I went in another state and across the country, and the point is it is very rare to get it done. So I was the experiment. And so, the point is because of it, this person's like, well, that's bullshit. FFX has to be covered because we need to pass really well. We need to be in deep stealth. Well, I'm sorry if you want to be deep stealth and everything, but honestly, you could go and get boobs. You can go and get, boobs. You can pass as a woman, and yet, the thing is facial feminization doesn't get covered. And someone's like, well, I know 3 people that got it, so you need to help me out. It's like, then go through these 3 idiots that got it done. If they paid cash for it, then that's different. But putting it on the government insurance plan doesn't work much. The government insurance plan will cover breasts and vagina, or penis and penis, breast and penis. Whereas female to males, it's breast removal, ovaries, uterus removal, testosterone, and penis building. So the point is if you look at the picture, all these fucking idiots out there basically have no choice but to basically sit there and either accept that you're not getting facial fem, or accept the fact that, it's very rare. Now, maybe it's, instead of being approximately 99.5%, I will say it's 99% chance that you won't get it. It's a 1% chance. Maybe I'll increase it now, but through what's going on. Now, the other problem I want to say out loud has to do with transgender healthcare. That's right. That they say, oh well, the administration's being forced. They're not being forced. Matter of fact, the administration's trying to take away your healthcare. They're trying to take away trans rights. And any of these idiots that say that it's different, and I'm talking through my ass, go look online of how much he's been doing in destroying the trans community, whether it be healthcare he wants to take away, so you can't have sex changes, to, not allowing transgender people in the military, or other issues. I mean, for example, the other issue I want to talk about for a second is that if the transgendered healthcare is being taken away because of Trump, then you got to look at the other thing. He doesn't want transgender people having rights. Now, a lot of you out there basically is sitting there saying, oh, well, the military thing. I'm going to say it and be blunt about it. When you're going through sex change, you're distracted from your duties in the freaking military. Hold on a sec. In the military. See that? Look at that. In the military. So, because you're being distracted in the military, right? It's a complicated issue. Look at all that gray hair. It's a complicated issue, and because it's purely and thoroughly complicated, that, these people sit there and say, oh, well, I'm entitled. You're not entitled to a sex change, okay? If you're disabled, you're not entitled to a sex change. If you're, sitting there, I mean, the reason that they keep thinking they're entitled is because some crusty old codger, I believe, passed away, demanded Medicare to pay after 34 years, and demanded it, sued, and etc., and it got through. Basically got approved. The old fuddy-duddy got it, and then everyone else started to basically fight it. But now that President Obama's not around, we have President Trump, who's trying to make America great again by basically turning around and saying, fuck you, we don't need you in our military, you're a distraction. You want to fucking cut away your dick and get a vagina and et cetera, et cetera. Well, fuck you. And then, you want a fucking fake pair of tits the taxpayers got to pay for, fuck you. So basically, he's trying to basically turn around and say you want medical block grants, which would help alleviate a lot of the medical problems. But at the same time, it might help more towards the mental health than basically giving someone a sex change and then having some dumbass who just got a vagina going, oh yeah, mine's like 1 inch, I need another $50,000, and then trying to go mooch on Facebook or what do you call it? That I can't, that crowdfunding program,
Yeah, man, they were dumb, stupid. That they have a baby after.
Yeah, well, I'll be getting to that in a second. Chloe made a good point, But anyways, that GoFundMe, that's the crowdfunding. Now here's the thing, okay. I'm gonna bitch about something more on my rant, okay. Besides talking great positives of the meeting today, and getting a can of coffee, and I gotta get dinner started once Chloe's ready for dishes, so I can actually make dinner, because because eventually I might just crash out because my bipolar and lack of sleep, and they gave me coffee, and I do need to figure out what me and Chloe's going to be doing tonight on Guild Wars. We finished right now without the expansions, which I got to get. I went and purchased and I mean, not real currency, but I purchased everything I could in Guild Wars on the free vanilla account. I actually completed all of the stuff. The only thing I haven't done is quest completions. I'm working on that. I should work from one area to another area and maybe do some group things. But I think if there's group events, even in the lower level areas, it's going to usually be champions or legendary. And so we still might get our ass kicked, even though we might have like level 80 weapons. So here we go. So basically, the other gripe I have is the transgender community basically thinks that they're going to be able to have ovaries and uterus transplants. Unfortunately, the Middle Eastern countries have tried that for trans people, and other countries and the Asian countries, and the body is rejecting the ovaries and uterus. And because they don't have a wide enough pelvis or hips, that the surgery basically is declined, and about 50% of the people with ovaries uterus transplants, mostly genetic women. They tried a couple trans people and they also died, but most of the transplants are failures. So technically, unless they have something, which they're saying, 5 years from now, people are going to have ovaries and uteruses. And when Aaron was alive, basically 5 years, he said, bullshit, it's going to take more than 5 years. It might take 50 or 100 years. So technically, I am.
We don't see it in our lifetimes.
So basically, to me, it's just basically, not going to happen, and it'll never happen, And so to me, you need to basically look at the big picture. It's not going to happen. Now, all these trannies, they claim that they're real women. Now, this is where I get angry, okay? Now, Dinky probably wants, at least in my opinion, and I will give her one today because I love Dinky and I love Corey, and, I love these things. Now, Dinky posts some trans stuff from time to time. And the trans stuff that she posts is like, like one guy basically saying, if, there's a whole bunch of trannies, and it's like, if you want to be my lover, first you got it, and then you got John Cleese, or not John Cleese, the guy from Karate Kid. He also was in Rambo. He basically turned around, he says something like, sweep the leg, sweep the leg, and sweep the leg, and so sweep the leg, and so because of it, and so because of what he says, like sweep the leg, he turns around and so he says that, but all the girls on the picture are trans except for him. And then, and so I literally had to ask someone about the story, and the story goes, more hair. Yeah, I pulled that out because it was knotted. The story goes that check out your women to make sure they don't have a penis. And a lot of people sit there and they say, oh, Yeah, that's what we want. We want a woman with a penis, you know. And to me, it's kind of clearly and thoroughly wrong. There you go. You heard it from me. It's literally wrong. So
They when they search for someone, they want someone with the part that they're born with.
well, the other thing is they say, you know, the best is some people say it's the best of both worlds. You get a female with a dick and breasts. Now, I don't want anyone to basically go and flag my video for talking things. I'm not talking pornography. I'm talking actual logistics here. A penis, the best of both worlds. In my opinion, it'd be saying to the world, there we go, that you want the best of both worlds when it comes to having a man with big peck, beard and everything, but they got a taco. You see, it doesn't make sense, literally. So, it's basically the people that want the best of both worlds is one of those people that really want to be a closeted gay, plain and simple. Now, let's get back to the other problem at hand that Chloe agrees with me on, and so does Dinky. And this is something that I've been holding back in my anger and violence, not violence, but anger to the point where I can hemorrhage to violence, which it won't happen. It just angers me. Is transgender community is making everyone look bad. Okay, let me put it this way: a lot of genetic women don't accept you being a fucking true female. Okay, if you get a family member that says, "Oh yeah, my son's now my daughter, I accept him. I'll go to the bathroom with them because they got their weenie cut off from Mr. Willy Willy." That's a different story if it's a family member. But most of the community, the genetic community, the cisgendered females will not accept a former dude becoming a fucking woman. And they sit there, and most of them can't pass over, "Oh yeah, look at me, I got implants in the vagina, I'm a real woman." The thing is you're not a fucking real woman, okay? Here's where a fucking real woman differs from a fucking man in a dress. You can have all the facial femme, you can have breast implants, you can have a vagina surgery, but if you can't fucking menstruate or have a baby, you're not a fucking real woman. Now, I'm not going to go into hermaphrodites, okay? I don't need to explain hermaphrodites. Dinky understands this one, or some of the terms called intersex. Now, there is different intersex conditions, okay? Now, I'm going to bring this up to Dinky to understand. Chromosomes are different, okay? If you are a hermaphrodite, you could be XXY, you could be XXXY, you could be XX with a penis anyways and still look male, instead, even though you might have XX as the real rare transgender person, we won't go anything like that. But the point is, they still can't have fucking kids because even though they might be XX, maybe mom gave them a penis and made them live their life with whatever, there could be XX hermaphrodites with both penis and, whatever. The point is, those people, either the penis works for semen and egg production to impregnate a woman, or the ovaries and uterus work. It doesn't either or, but most of the time, 99% of the time, the trans hermaphrodite, they might be able to have a period, but they might not be able to have a baby, or they might not have either, and they have to be on estrogen. So, with me, I'm on a low dose of estrogen to begin with because my estrogen was naturally there. That's why they can't, and that's why the doctor said intersex, or hermaphrodism, but we won't go there, okay? Now, here's the other thing, okay? Trans man, basically, okay, I was just looking over a picture the other day, and the picture was disturbing, okay? Now, I agree with Dinky completely on this fucking subject. A woman's feminine hygiene products, I use them too. I have pads, maxi pads, and other things. I like the ones with the wings, because I have blood that comes out all the time, once a month, yada, 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 and my panties are always covered in blood. You can go through all my panties and I'll have blood, and, the doctor said, "Oh, well, you're doing your normal thing. You have a little bit of blood." Most trans women who have the lower surgery, they can't get blood out of their vagina. Now, I have, mine, natural and everything else. So, reopened. And so the blood, flows out naturally. But we're not talking about my periods or my blood or, etc. What we're talking about in general is this. the pads now are going gender binary, non-binary, or non-gender thing. So a man can go in there and get his pads if he's female to male. Problem is, they want to be treated as a real man. I'm sorry to say, but you were born with a vagina. You bleed like a woman. No, you're a fucking man with a vag, or a fucking woman in boxers. Okay, now you have men in dresses. You have the woman in boxers with a beard. Now, let's go to the next part. What's pissing me off that makes the transgender community really bad in this whole ordeal is two things, maybe three. One is they deceive. They sit there and say, I'm a real woman. You gotta fuck me. You gotta accept me. I'm a real woman. And then the guy basically finds out and usually beats the shit out of him for deceiving, if they do lie because they want this guy or this trade, trade means sex and all this stuff. Guess what happens? They get the shit kicked out of them, and then, I mean, literally, okay. Now, you got all these people out there that, that they deceive, and deceiving gets, penalized. You basically deceive, you usually get punished, plain and simple. Now, here's another thing. Is anyone ready for this one? On top of that, they go and they push the Congress and the Senate to push more rights, which means we're entitled to have terrorists, man. Terror can't take care of terrorists, man. I need it because I'm a real woman, and Corey needs to be with me. Corey A-hole, for example. The thing is Corey's married to Tara, not hypothetically, but let's just say in this scenario, Corey's not going to want an inverted penis, okay? They have an inverted penis. They're going to always have an inverted penis. They're not going to have children. What if Corey wants children? What if, for example, some other guy wants children? He can't because some freaking guy had an inverted penis and had implants and looks very passable at 18, 19, 20 years old and wants to live their life. But by the time they're 30 or 40, they might have had sex so many times, and the guys by then realize that they're fucking a former dude. It happens. So technically, it's all a deception thing. And then the guys get mad and beat the shit out of him, or they get a restraining order put against them, or whatever else, So basically, the point I'm making in this whole fucking video is they're deceiving, lying sacks of shit, okay? Now, the third problem I have with the deception and more deception and stuff is this. I'm open-minded. Chloe knows this. Dinky knows this. Corey knows this. But Chloe agrees with Dinky on a subject that they don't see eye to eye and everything. Dinky has this problem. I have this problem. Chloe has this problem. Chloe's mom has this problem against my family. Blah, blah, blah. Goes in, between therapists and everything else. It's like my family's toxic in Chloe's opinion, from Chloe's family and Chloe's therapist. And my therapist says Chloe's family's toxic, and blah, 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 and, the point is, it's basically pitting each other at loggerheads. Okay. Now, this is a big problem. Okay. You got fucking people running BMX, running, track meet, all these different sports, right? You get a trans person, it's human rights, I need my human rights, I'm a real woman, you can't deny me. And so the fucking government goes and puts them in, right? Then they go and they fucking beat the fucking genetic woman's ass in everything they do because they're built like a man. They got a fucking man-made taco and they got fucking tits and they're like, oh, God, look at me, I beat this person. And this person's supposed to be going to go to the world, the Olympics, Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics or whatever.
Like a trans man entering males.
Well, yeah, hold on. Well, yeah, here, let me give it another example. So, to me, and I will get to it, and Chloe's example again, because I don't want the screaming, but Chloe's right. Again, the trans men go in and beat all the genetic women because, of that, or, whatever for gymnastics.
They beat all the cis men because they want to enter as a man. Like stuff where, because women are more.
Well, yeah, like Chloe said, most women basically can beat people in gymnastics and stuff right over men. So if they go in as a man and they beat all the men and they keep all the records. So I agree, and Chloe agrees, and Aaron agrees, and Poppy agrees, and Corey agrees, and Dinky's mom, Nan, agrees, and Dinky's dad agrees, and, my Aunt Aya and Steve agree. All these people.
Sex, it still makes it fair for the cis people.
Well, let me just put it to you. Well, because you guys couldn't hear Chloe that well, let me put it this way. You take a genetic female and you put him in a pit against a man-made female. That's what I call it, man-made female. The man-made female is going to win all the time. Now, if you take a genetic female and is becoming man, a man-made male, with against a cisgender male, like gymnastics and other things, they might beat the ass out of the fucking thing, and it's unfair. So, all these people I just agreed with Chloe needs to basically be a third party support. Basically, you have trans women against trans men if you want, or trans men against trans men, and trans women against trans women, and you cut out so you have a third party there instead of basically putting a genetic man who says it's human rights. No, it's not human rights. What you're doing is you're basically humiliating the fucking humiliating the cisgendered woman, which in turn, as I can see Dinky in this, in turn, it's not a human rights thing. You know what? What if you want a sex change? That's fine. Whatever floats your boat. But go in a tranny only freaking thing and beat each other's ass over fucking going in and saying I need to be. The thing is, they want so many more fucking rights. They're taking away rights from others. Literally, they want to be recognized as a genetic woman or a genetic man by law. They want to fucking be recognized that they can legally marry by law. They want to be recognized that the man has to take care of them, or they want to recognize that a woman who was formerly a dude has to be a guy has to accept them full-heartedly. You don't need to be accepted. If you have a sex change, guy finds out you have an inverted penis, that's your problem. You don't need to basically piss off the fucking people and basically get them riled up or angry or whatever else you want to talk about, okay? My point is the bottom line is this whole thing is bullshit, okay? It's like the clothing. Again, let me just tell you about the clothing issue, okay? The clothing issue is pretty bad, okay? It goes like this. The clothing issue goes like this. Chloe knows it herself. Women sit there and say, oh, look at me, I'm in thigh highs and stockings, and look at me, I'm wearing a mini dress, and I'm a hot, sexy whore, and fuck me. Whereas a genetic woman doesn't fucking put those things on. I've never seen Dinky once put on a fucking, for example, to please her man, fucking the garter belt, and the thigh highs and the heels. I mean, literally, yeah, I mean, some people have drawers and drawers of thigh highs to be horny. As Chloe said, it's uncomfortable. Thing is, the trannies took away pantyhose. Now we're going with leggings. When leggings get taken over by the trannies, we're going to have to do something else. I mean, all our clothing style is being taken away because these people are fucking taking away our sense of styles, and these men who think it's okay. And most of the fucking men do it because they don't want to be taken care of. They're like, oh, I'm going to have a sex time. I'm going to be taken care of by some cute guy. And the guy's like, I don't want to fuck you. You got a fucking inverted penis. Stay the fuck away from me.
Actually, a lot of sisters were starting to go with no pants because they want to see if the trannies are willing to even dare do that.
Well, let me put it this way. I agree with Chloe on that. No pants, but my point is literally the transgendered people are making everyone look bad. I mean, look, I was in the bathroom the other day, and I basically couldn't tell if I had a trans man or a fucking genetic woman with a beard or a guy. Turns out I was right. It was a guy. And they arrested the fucker. So basically, I don't want some fucking crusty bastard who doesn't pass I'm a real woman. I got a body, and I'm paying in the bathroom. And I mean, literally, just even if you have a vagina, it doesn't make you a fucking woman. These people are doing it thinking they can get trade and they can have sexual intercourse with young men, and it doesn't fucking work. I mean, I know a person that basically talks about having sex all the time, and they're in their 60s. I won't give their name. Chloe knows who I'm talking about. And they're basically throwing a fit about how the depth of my vagina and this and this. Look, I'm a lesbian, okay? I don't care about having fucking a 10-inch fucking dong like this fucking round and about yay long, one of those fucking wide ones. I'm not a fucking, I'm not wanting a horse dick in me, I can handle the horse dick, but I just want, I literally almost could put half my hand in my fucking, the point is I don't want to. Why? Because I'm a woman who am a lesbian. I can, get feeling and sensate, no problem. But the problem is trannies nowadays are going way out of hand. I know a tranny goes, if you're a man and you become a woman and you can't classify as a homo, you're heterosexual. But if you're a man becoming a woman who likes women, then you're fucked up. It needs to be where I have a sex change, I like men, I get dick, I get more dick, I get more dick. And yet they think, we're not going to even give the name. Emmy, who thinks that we're all fucked up if we like women only. You remember who I'm talking about, right? Yeah. So basically, all this shit is going on. Now, I want to talk about another subject here, okay? Because I got to get dinner started soon once Chloe gets dishes done and starts doing her chores, and then maybe I can actually get something done. I'm looking forward to trying the coffee out because I threw together like 5 different blends, and so it's like 5 blended coffee. It might have a little Supremo and some vanilla hints and some donut chop hints and some breakfast blend. But okay, next problem I have. Now, my point is I've talked about the tranny issues. I've talked about the issues with the medical thing or facial femme. Now, I'm not going to advocate for some jackass who thinks that 3 people in his opinion got facial femme. To me, I don't give 2 shits if 3 people did or 20 people did. My point is I'm not allowed to talk about my surgeon. Now, here's a big one. Now, I know this might upset Dinky to a point. Maybe she's on her way home listening to this as a podcast. I hope so. You're awesome, Dinky. But it has to do with something that is bothering the piss out of me, okay? This doesn't have to do with fucking Dinky herself. This doesn't answer to Dinky. This is just a generalized thing. It doesn't have to do with Dinky. It doesn't have to do, so it's basically... So basically, I agree with Dinky. She just posted change.org today, basically, that states that people need to sign a petition to evaluate the evidence of sex differences in sports. I agree completely. I mean, literally, you need a third thing. See, basically, Dinky says, if you're not okay with men taking over women's sports, please read this article. Send your thoughts to contact, I am no way against transgendered, but I will not stand for biological men taking over women's records. You do what you want with your body, that's your right, but I strongly disagree with men racing against genetic women and women races. I agree with Dinky completely. It makes us all look bad, and then they basically don't want to help, So basically, one of my friends, Haley, she basically says, it's too late. Caitlyn Jenner was labeled Woman of the Year last year for her transition. Yeah, Woman of the Year for transition. Get fucking real. There's still a fucking genetic man. Because, the other women weren't saving lives or anything. Well, Caitlyn Jenner isn't saving lives from what I understand. I know it's really a tragic thing to see, and not much can be done. Really bothers me. That bothers the fucking shit out of me too, Dinky. That we gotta fucking, And now there's another thing that I want to bring up. This does bring up for people in general, but this is this is okay. Here's the non-binary tampons. So. But anyways, the transgendered people, are like I said, it's complicated, So basically what happens is the transgendered people, are making everyone look bad for these racing and stuff, basically Dinky's mom says human rights my ass. You were born a man, decided a male, a female through sexual reproductive until you as a transgendered woman can have a menstrual cycle and reproduce as a woman. You have no human rights to play in women's sports. I agree completely with that thing. And then right there, behind that post was Mop Pics. So technically I wanted to share that with y'all because frankly, I just wanted to share it, but I also have a gripe that I want to finish up here, is she has a right to basically post what she wants, when it comes to her wall. But I do want to share, So, like, for example, they show some caveman's evolving, and it shows a caveman in a dress, and it says, go back, something has gone wrong. Well, I agree completely with it. And so to me, I agree with everything Dinky says. It's like, the whole thing about wanting to make fun of a few transgendered people. I mean, like this one, you stole from our generation, hun. Your generation doesn't know if it's male, female, or a toaster. I agree. I mean, literally, look at it. There's too many transgendered people in this fucking world, basically turning around, and and you know it's like someone said trans women have an advantage, and I agree completely. Like one person said, unless you could pass completely with look passable, if you're going to be a woman, and she uses swear words, then you better look better than a real woman. Well, I think my surgeon did a good job. I think Chloe's passes really well, so technically, but so now they're gonna always is taking away the symbol off packaging. You know. So like one of Haley's brothers basically said, I think they're doing that for women who are transitioning to men. Well, that's the thing. It's a bunch of bullshit. Thing is no one needs to deal with it. And so to me, I think it's just utterly bullshit. So here we go. Transgendered meme, basically. It says, if you want to be my lover, you gotta, and then it shows a karate kid sweep the leg. So basically, I was trying to figure that out, and basically it's funny because you know, I thought it was funny, so I posted it on my wall. But anyways, back to the transgendered argument for a second, before we head on out, is Dinky's completely right. When it comes to this whole article thing, they need to not pit them against, because it's not about human rights, it's not about civil rights, it's basically being fair against the people. Now start a new class. If you can't do it, then get the fuck out of the sports, because I don't want to see a genetic man beat the shit out of a fucking woman in sports. It's wrong. Like, it's the same with the tranny saying that they're entitled to a fucking sex change. No, you're not. You basically rammed it down the throat saying it's medically necessary or you're going to kill yourself. I mean, literally, I hear this all the fucking time. I mean, literally, if you want to kill yourself, then maybe you need to be at peace with yourself, because the taxpayer shouldn't be paying for it. Literally, I mean, look, I've had mine done, okay? There's complications. There's different things. I've had Dinky with me with the surgeons. I've had Dinky with me in other things. Point is, think he's awesome, all right? My point is the taxpayers shouldn't be paying for it. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, Dinky's insurance plan and Corey's insurance plan is through the fucking roof, because they got to pay for these people's sex changes. Yet Dinky goes in, maybe she doesn't have dental, eyewear, or whatever. My Medicare doesn't cover glasses. I might have to pay out of pocket a bit for these. Chloe was told her Medicaid doesn't cover glasses anymore, and they want to take away dental, so she's stuck with other issues. So to me, it's a bunch of hogwashing baloney. So you tell me what's going on. Now, like I said, the transgender community needs a third person, literally. And that's how I see it. Now, that's all I want to say on that issue. But my thing is, and Chloe agrees, even though Chloe disagrees with a lot of things Dinky says, Chloe agrees with these ones. Literally, it's making us all look bad. Even though I'm intersex / hermaphroditic, I'm still under the fucking umbrella, and it makes me look bad. That's why one of the things I wanted to explain, Chloe said it was about time I did it, is why I hate the tranny community. Besides fucking deception, ramming it down their throat that sex change is medically necessary, facial femme to pass. If you're fucking 50 years old, you don't need fucking facial femme. I saw a black person who used to be a Navy SEAL going, oh, look how hot I am. And I passed the picture around just to see through my own channels. You know what they said? The person doesn't pass as a fucking facial femme, didn't do him any good. They had the brick face, you saw the black person, right? Literally, and people are like, oh yeah, you look passable, you pass, and they're like, oh, thank you, I'm trying my best, I'm a woman. Look, if you got fucking, if you're a fucking woman, okay, and you had a penis and you got a woman pregnant, you're still a fucking man. You're always going to be a fucking man. You're never going to be a fucking real woman. Look at some of people like Chloe's dad who won't pay child support, son of a bitch. And then he wants to have a sex change to claim he's a 14-year-old girl, you know. Literally, what a jackass. But besides that, I'm basically saying, literally, I'm not giving names, so I'm not slandering anyone, you know, but basically, it's a bunch of bullshit, literally. And this is why I hate the transgender community. They make us all look bad. They demand, they think that they, you know, oh, I'm a woman, look at the makeup, I'm so hot, I wear makeup. I got makeup too. I can just sit there and say, Chloe, doll me up. She'll put it on perfectly for me. Thing is one of these days I might have to. You know, I might have to do some makeup on the day I go in to see her. As long as she doesn't make me look like a clown. The first few times she made me look like a clown, I wanted to fucking hit her with a fucking rolling pin.
Yeah, well, that was because I haven't did anyone at that point. That was a time where I didn't do anyone's makeup for a while because I was homeless.
Well, anyways, basically my video's gone long enough, you know, but you get the idea, you know. I mean, literally, I just wanted to share my feelings, you know, and, you know, the meeting went well. Everything went well. You know, I'm kind of concerned about Christmas. I'm working on Christmas gifts already, but my point is, you know, I have some ideas and thoughts, but I'm working on projects, you know, but they're just taking some time. I got to go through some game lists and work with adding stuff to Christmas and getting it done, you know, and going from there. So, with that said, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day. Right, Chloe? And, you know, I might make another video tomorrow or something. So, yeah, please, add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion. Hit that like and subscribe button to hold some fun even for the family, including your dogs and cats and your bunnies. As you can see, Eb is sleeping right now, so let the little bun sleep. And hit that bell notification for new content. You know, and I'm sorry I basically vented about transgender healthcare and everything else, but I thought it was time to get it out of the way. I'm not a bigot any way, shape, or form. I just see these people making us all look bad. And then the cisgendered women don't want anything to do with us because these jackasses want to be demanding to look and pass like a woman, demands to be basically beating women in sports that they have no reason to be in.
Do you think some of these women are willing to give away their rights, give away their right to vote or their right to be the woman they are just to take away trans rights?
No. I think voting rights are different, but I also believe, you know, under the
because there's some right-wing women saying they're willing to lose some of their rights in order so gay people cannot get married. These are like right-wing biblical women.
Well, if they are, they are. I mean, let them do what they wish. It's a free country. Now, if they get away with it, that's fine. I mean, look, they don't want transgender people getting their health care? Fuck them. If they don't want gay people getting married, well, fuck them. My opinion is it doesn't apply to me, okay? My opinion is I am just here to bitch about what's going on. Now, I'm hoping I have a better video for you tomorrow before I go. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going in Guild Wars. I think Chloe said she wanted us to play Diablo tonight, I think. So we'll find that out if I do get any sleep. You know, Chloe knows I haven't slept, so, you know, she'll probably put me to sleep for a while. But point is, I got to make dinner, you know, and that's like 90 minutes cooking, and it's just a mess. So again, please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Hit that like and notification bell for new content. It's wholesome fun even for your dogs, service dogs, and bunnies. Oh, before I go, yes, thank you for reminding me. Service dogs. That was the last topic of the day. Now, I'm getting tired of people sitting there and putting a coat on a dog and saying, this is my service dog in training. Well, what's it do? Oh, it's for PTSD. I've talked to lawyers and stuff that say in the state of Washington, PTSD dogs don't count. Of course, under certain other rules, they can if they count for getting medications like heart medications or determining if you have low blood sugar. This one's like, oh yeah, it helps my mom with diabetes. Well, if it helps your mom with diabetes and it's your fucking dog, there's a problem because you can't share one dog for two people. The dog, oh, well, I live with my mom, so they take me everywhere, so it's okay. I mean, the fucking person is a stupid ass motherfucking douchebag. Basically, their dog is not a service dog. I mean, literally, if a service dog's working, you don't fucking sit there and pet the dog. My dog today basically went under the chair many times. And when I had to go to the bathroom, I left the Moppy with Chloe temporarily, and he went to sleep next to Chloe. So everyone was more impressed with how Moppy's trained as a dog. Moppy knows what he's doing. He's helped me with like 6+ tasks, where this girl makes up tasks in her ass and then basically says her dog's a service dog. Now, here's the general rule that I'm pissed about, okay? Pissed. I have a legitimate service dog that helps me in legitimate ways. I've seen people walk in and people are like, is that a service? Oh, no, it's a service dog. When they're telling lies. Now, I'm saying in general, these fucking people want to take their pets into stores and it makes everyone look bad with the service dog. Again, people look at me when they see Moppy behaving and you see some yapper going, and the brewery, and they're like, get your damn dog out of here. Yeah, you get your dog out of here. It's barking. I mean, the other day I went in there with the problem. Chloe didn't pay attention, but the guy basically was told, this black guy was told to get his damn black lab out of there because it was barking at Moppy. They said the dog can't be in control. They said, get it out. The guy's like, oh, well, it's a service dog. That one isn't. And the guy looks and there's a coat. He didn't have a fucking coat. He just basically said, my dog's a service dog. It's wearing a vest like Marty McFly and Back to the Future, So to me, my opinion is if you have a fucking legitimate service dog, then you're fine. But if you fucking want to just take your fucking pet somewhere because you're depressed or, you just can't leave your dog in the car, then leave him at home. Unless it's your own dog. I mean, literally, you can't basically break the fucking laws. I mean, literally, there's so many people out there. I'm saying in general, this isn't directed to anyone, but in fucking general, people should fucking turn around and they should not fucking abuse dogs. They shouldn't be taking their dog anywhere. Your dog is not a service dog. A service dog is highly trained. Mine was retrained. So everyone knows my dog is a service dog. People make fun of it. The vest is too old or whatever. Maybe I got the vest at Goodwill. I don't think the Goodwill would sell a service dog coat. Yeah. Fortunately, I know it's all jokes on that, but the point is, I mean, it's like the bunny. The bunny is small. He's basically a therapy animal for Chloe. So technically it works, but we don't need any problems with it. But even a therapy dog can't go into stores. They actually have to function and do a job. They have to bring you seizure alerts. Mine does. Medical alert. Mine does. Checking for low sugar level. Mine does. Comfort? No. Just to have the dog in the room that makes you feel comfortable. It doesn't apply under ADA law or the fucking or the reasonable or the ADA law for service dogs in the state of Washington. Comfort animal is only good for in your house, not out in public, like going grocery stores and stuff. I mean, look, every time I go to a grocery store, when I first started going to grocery store, wherever I went, they basically turned around and they said, is he a service dog? I showed them the paperwork, which is in his vest. In the end, they're like, no problem. And they've monitored him for a long while. People I go into grocery stores now, whether it be Safeway, Walmart, King's, freaking Friday Harbor Marketplace, he's good. People like the shops I go to, like for fish and chips, Cask and Schooner, the bait shop, Haley's, my place, Sweet Retreat, or Herbs, or Downrigger, or the Blue Water, or the Hungry Clam, or my coffee shops I go to, like Riptide, or the Crow, or the Bean, or Friday Harbor Roasting Company, or Salty Fox. Any one of those, they basically say, oh, it's Rita and Moppy. How goes it, Moppy? We love Moppy. He's so good, and everywhere, when I'm with Chloe, people look at Chloe and they say it even on the ferry. Oh, your dog is so great. That is so great. That's a cute little doggy, I go into the ferry lines, and they're like, hey, Rita, I haven't seen you in a while. Hello, Mop. How are you doing today, doggo? And he doesn't get petted, but he basically gets noticed, and people say, "Oh, look how beautiful he is. He's sleeping." I mean, I've had guys come up. There's on a service dog, and he looks at the vest, and the dog's under the bench, or under the table on the ferry. I'm riding one. I'm like, "Oh yes, it is, sir." He goes around the corner, sees another dog, and I'm watching, and get that dog out of here. Oh, well, it's a service dog. Service dogs don't have the right to sit next to you on the thing. Well, I allow it because, it brings me comfort. And then the next thing you know, the guy's getting ready to radio ahead to have them picked up and kicked off the ferry. So next thing you know, you're watching the guy outside freezing with his giant dog like a Great Dane, because of it. So the point I'm making is look what's going on, So my beef is in general, and this is one of me and Aaron's big pet peeves, is if you don't have a service dog and you want to have your dog with you everywhere, then either get it trained to be service dog or fucking leave it at home. We shouldn't have to basically look bad. It's people that want to bring their pets with them that make us all look bad. It's like the transgendered rant today. They make us all look bad. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree, Chloe?
Make us look bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like Chloe walking into a store with a backpack, a Minions backpack with a bunny in the bubble. They would not allow a bunny in a backpack in a grocery store. It's basically unhygienic. They'd be throwing a fit, kicking Chloe out. So you get the point. Again, that was my last rant. Right now, I got it all off my chest, my beautiful chest. So this girl says, "Hope you guys are doing fine. Hope you get a new report tomorrow. I love every one of you. So please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion. Hit the like and subscribe button. It's wholesome fun, even for the family. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hit that bell notification for new content. It's also very good for your service dogs and your bunnies. Thanks for watching. Captain's Log out. NCC 1701B. USS Enterprise B. This transmission ends now.